Hey guys, Dout here. With the wipe happening fairly soon, I figured that I'd make a Bard's guide for starting the next season. Bard can definitely be strong in PvP, but it takes a lot of gold to get you there. Without gear, your rapier hits like a wet noodle, and you only have about 100 HP and 10% PDR in base kit. So for a Bard to win PvP early on, it takes heavy outplays. So instead, I'm going to show you what I'll be doing. And if you think this will help you too, feel free to try it. I have 2 games here starting in Pathfinder rank, and in the first, I'm fully base kit. I'll be ending the video after those 2 games, and at that point, the gear I have is where I'd feel confident to fight other players or start bossing. I wouldn't recommend bossing without gear on, because if other people show up, it's probably just not going to end in a good time, and you'll have just wasted a run. So these are the skills that I'm going to be grabbing, and I'm probably going to take them in this order. Charismatic Performance at level 1. It's basically your one required perk on Bard. After that, I'm going to take Lore Mastery. This increases our regular interaction speed by 25%. It helps us open doors. It helps us open escape portals. It helps us get health shrines. It basically just makes everything you're doing while you're interacting with the map faster. And while we're looting faster with Lore Mastery, I'm also going to pick up Wanderer's Luck at level 10. This will just increase our chances of getting better gear. And my last pick is going to be Superior Dexterity. I just really like the perk. It's honestly, for myself, a must-have perk. But if you want to flex that to Rapier Mastery or War Song or literally anything else, go for it. You definitely can. I just really like being able to swap between everything so much quicker. And for our songs, I'm only running 4 out of the 5 self-buffs: Rousing Rhythms, Beats of Alacrity, Aria of Alacrity, Ballad of Courage. You can run Harmonic Shield. I'm just choosing not to initially. And then we have Lament of Languor and Shriek of Weakness. These are must-have songs. And since I don't have Harmonic Shield, I'm actually bringing that 5 memcap into Unchained Harmony instead. That way we can open up all of the locked chests. And we do need 2 more memory or knowledge for Tranquility, but I'm putting that on the bar anyway, just in case we get it, so we can heal if we make some mistakes. And I don't usually do this, but here are some of the people that I'm in the lobby with. If I'm able to do this now, I should definitely be able to do it when everyone is running around in base kit or just a couple runs of gear. That windlass might one-shot me. Alright, so here we are in the game, and every time I get this spawn, I immediately run south. There's a lion's head chest, so that could open up down there. And I just like to try to get to that as quick as I can. The first drum missed. Usually if you hit it with your drum and your rapier, you destroy the pots in 2 hits, but if you try to use your rapier, it takes like 3, so I typically just throw a drum, because why not? And this chest was actually perfect for me. I got a weapon upgrade, I got boots, so I increased my move speed. It actually gives resourcefulness too, which is great for Bard. And I got some Francescas, so we have some sort of range. I messed up and got hit there, but it's really not a huge deal at this point. I'm just trying to clear around as fast as I can, get as much loot as I can, and try to get myself built up. And when you jump down here, 9 times out of 10, you're going to aggro the skeleton to your right, so you might as well just jump down knowing that you're going to fight it. That's why you're ready to Shriek of Weakness. And I got hit again, so I'm just going to get these chests all opened up and looted, and then I'm going to use the search kit that I found. That was also a pretty lucky find. Wanderer attire upgrade for some more dexterity. We can play our songs quicker. And now we got 2 more chest pieces. My biggest question here is if I want the Dexterity chest or the Adventurer tunic. I'm not honestly wanting the Troubadour outfit as much because it lowers my move speed more than the other two, but I'm very unsure at this point if I want more health or if I want Dexterity. I know my end goal is to have more health. I want to be hitting about 130 HP, but right at the start, I was very unsure and just kind of left the Wanderer tire on. Some more knowledge, resourcefulness, and action speed. This actually makes it to where I can cast Tranquility now. And with 4 lockpicks, we also don't need Unchained Harmony next game, and we could bring Harmonic Shield, or Accelerando, or Allegro, whatever we kind of decide. But I'm just going to quickly Tranquility and get full health again. Vigor, knowledge, max health pants, also great. And I am going to replace my old shoes with the rugged boots for more health. Straw hat for some more damage and the best drip in the game. After I walked into this room, I noticed that it was partially cleared, and I'm not wanting to run into people yet. I don't feel strong enough, especially now that people are coming in geared. So I'm actually just gonna go back and run the other way. We did hear something drop across this room, so I'm just going to check it out, see what's happening, and then decide to actually go back and run the other way again. So this room is a spawn. And so I'm kind of just assuming that whoever spawned over here ran through the other room to my west. That just means that I'm just going to have to be a little extra careful as I'm moving forward. And since I might be running into people, I'm just going to put on the Adventurer Tunic now. The Dexterity is great and all, but with this, I'm over 120 health, which means I might, big might, be able to take 3 hits instead of 2, and that could be the deciding factor of if I want to fight or not. So here we have a fighter, and he crouches at me saying that he wants to be friendly. Sure, why not? I'm not trying to fight anyone, so I'll be friendly. And as I'm looting this chest, I hear footsteps coming up behind me. Never trust anyone. I'm planning to go check to see if the centipedes were killed because I want some better jewelry, but they already were, sadly. And I don't really know what happened to the first fighter, but now there's a different fighter and a cleric here, and the fighter just starts to sprint at me. This is where having move speed and lore mastery definitely comes in handy, because there's no way I would probably be able to fight this guy. He has too much PDR, and I don't really do any damage yet. We found an open door, so we're just going to run through and shut this on him and then keep going. He'll probably shoot us again as we're opening the door, but it's not a big deal. He shouldn't kill us. We have tranquility. We're going to be fine. And since it sounds like he's still chasing us, I'm actually just going to aggro all of the mobs and run down into the Cyclops room. There, I'm just going to try to heal on up and make sure that we're good. If he has to deal with all these mobs, I don't think he's going to keep chasing us. If he does, I'll just get up and keep running though. So we were able to get full health. I'm actually just going to run through the other side of the room with the open door already, because I don't want to run up and just have the fighter be right there. I just want to create as much distance as I can from him. Okay, and now we have our out, so I'm just going to open that up, try to make sure that I don't hear anyone else around, and try to get just a little bit more loot before I leave here. At this point, I was going to run to the other side of the room and grab the lion's head chest that is underneath here. But as I was making sure no one was around, I realized that I pulled the Nightmare Goblin Shaman, and I didn't want to deal with that, so I just left. So now we sell everything that we can to the collector, put everything else, because it was all relatively decent gear, into the marketplace. And then I'm just going to buy a base buckler and a base survival bow and keep going. I could have bought a relatively good blue survival bow, but for the sake of what we're trying to do and have this be simulating early white, instead I'm just going to buy the weakest one that I can and try to save as much gold as I can. Also, I wouldn't be able to do this anyway because you need quests done to unlock the ability to buy things like this. And at the start of life, I won't have any quests done. And here we are in game 2. I meant to swap off Unchained Harmony for Harmonic Shield, but I'm dumb and I didn't. So we still have that and our 4 lockpicks. And with this adventure tunic, I'm basically just making the decision between 1 move speed versus 0.5% PDR, and I just decided to go with the 1 move speed. And since we have Unchained Harmony, I'm also going to go this way because there's 2 chances for golden or lion's head chests, and I want to get as much gear as possible. Again, for simulating early wipe, I'm just trying to make myself as strong as I can for when I run into other players. I don't know how the first bullet hit me. The second one, I sort of just decided to take if I couldn't dodge it because I wanted to kill the Goblin Shaman while he was casting this. Because if I did that, it just made this entire clear quicker. And here is where I kind of decided to do something weird. My buckler is base. It's kind of just not good. It gives me like 20 armor, which is a decent amount of PDR, but the short sword gives me health and physical damage and a few other things, so I'm deciding to put that on instead. I don't know if I could recommend this, but in my head, this made more sense to me. So let me know what you think. Do you think Slayer Bard can be a thing, or do you think it was just really dumb of me? And of course, if my buckler had stats like max health or PDR or add armor rating, I would definitely keep that over the short sword. Just in this very specific moment, it felt better. And this is a pretty good 3 strength, 3.5% fizz damage, and 5% buff duration necklace. Pretty good for us. And now because I'm only missing really jewelry and capes, I want to at least try to get the jewelry before I'm out of this game. So I'm going to run down to the centipede and do what I can to hopefully get some rings. Two strength with percent max health, that's really great, and another strength necklace. And once again, as we're pushing into the zone, we just need to be a little bit careful about running into other players. I do feel a little better at this point, so I can take one fight if I think it's something that we can do. But if not, we'll probably just avoid people. And we do have another bard near us now. All of the lights are turned off and I can't see anything, so I don't like this. I don't know how geared he is, so I'm just gonna keep moving on. I was contemplating doing Centipede here as well, but I don't think that I have enough time, so I'm deciding against it. Instead, I'm just going to push into zone slightly. And there we saw a barbarian. He doesn't have a shirt, so I'm expecting him to do a lot of damage, but we should be able to do a bunch of damage to him too. This is a fight that I'm willing to take. You definitely don't have to. You could just keep going around, but I'm going to start pushing him. I was just playing that in case the bard was still here, but I think that the barbarian is trying to run into the static exit now. And I also think that the bard already took it. So I'm going to run up to that exit and cast Lament of Languor, only to realize that he's not there. And then try to find him again. I hit the first survival bush shot. I missed the second. I was trying to weave it through the staircase, but I hit the staircase instead. And then as I continue to chase him, he jumps down on me and we just have to finish the fight in melee. And since we're fully buffed, our falchion swings a lot faster than his Viking sword, which helps us get the job done pretty easily. A nice vigor ring, but the zone's closing and it's about to be the last zone, so I just want to make sure I can get an escape portal. If there's one close enough, I'll definitely just keep looting this guy, but I want to make sure I have a portal open first. There is an escape portal right in front of me. I definitely missed it the first time I ran through though. A decent agility add magic necklace to sell. Glove upgrade, and I'm gonna take the pants too. I should have dropped my arrows and kept my vigor pants because they are pretty good. They're vigor max health, but I just dropped them. I should have dropped my arrows. Alright, and this is why I love the marketplace. 3 things sold while I was in that game, and that's a pretty decent chunk of gold. I sold them for lower than they probably should have went for, but it's more gold than what I got from collectibles. And since I swapped from my vigor pants into loose trousers with agility and actually give me more move speed, I'm planning to buy a watchman cloak here, and I'm looking for one with more health. Watchman cloaks have the best armor out of all of the different capes, and getting more health will just help me be more tanky. We're also going to pick up a better survival bow. And I also want to buy an arming sword to replace my falchion. I'm probably going to try to test out the Slayer build a little bit more and see if I can actually get some kills with it. If I like it, I almost always use a buckler, but I just wanted to try this out because it seemed like a fun time. All right, and with that, after 2 games, we are set to go. At this point, I would probably start trying to do Cave Troll and take on some PvP. If you enjoyed the content, please just drop a comment, give me a like, or subscribe to the channel. It really does help, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Also, if you want to join a small community of Dark and Darker and other video game players, I'll have a link to my community channel in the description below. See y'all next time. Peace.